Welcome back to the show. You're still watching Technoholik, and obviously I've got Varun Singh in the studio with me. Now, Varun Singh, a couple of things, okay? Touch screen phones have been very good.
Yep.
They have been cool, and we all use them. But what do you think about phones which have a bit of a keypad on them and a bit of a touch screen?
So that's the form factor that BlackBerry pretty much pioneered, and then obviously Nokia hopped on. They made the E71, 72, all of those phones, and the E61, that massive square phone. So this is basically that square format screen on top and that little keyboard at the bottom. And this is a format that's becoming really popular now. Samsung has launched some of the really cheap feature phone type of phones with this form factor. Nokia has the E5 now. BlackBerry's obviously always been the favorite in that particular segment, but Android's sort of been lacking behind on that. Android's been on touch phones a lot, but nobody's really made that form factor with the screen on top and the keyboard at the bottom work with Android till now. And this one, the Huawei IDEOS Chat phone.
It's a name impossible to pronounce.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's a chat
they should have
phone.
renamed it for India. I think it may work in China, but it certainly doesn't work in India. They should have renamed it. And IDEOS is basically easy to pronounce. And
IDEOS?
It's the IDEOS Chat phone. Fairly simple phone. It looks pretty much like a BlackBerry, but a different design perspective altogether. It's actually available in green, and that's the weird part about this phone. But yeah, it's an Android phone, Android 2.1, not 2.2. And Siddhartha is doing a review for us this week.
Smartphones these days offer a complete package. Whenever you buy a new smartphone, you get this feeling that there's something lacking. When you finally make your choice, you choose a phone with a physical keyboard to it. So it's easy to type and chat, but you don't enjoy the modern touch experience with it at a decent price. And when you go ahead and buy a touch phone, you love the easy navigation and playing games, but when it comes to typing a message and chatting, it's a serious workout for your fingers. So a new category of phones have emerged: the touch and type smartphones. And one such phone is the Huawei IDEOS Chat phone, which gives you the best of both worlds. So there you saw it, how the Huawei IDEOS Chat phone gives you that touch experience along with that QWERTY keyboard. But there's more to the phone than all this. Why don't you take a look at the specs first, and then we'll talk about it more. Let's talk about the design first. It's got a great looking solid build quality to it, and it looks like a mini Hummer of smartphones. It features a 2.4-inch touchscreen display up front and a very well-spaced QWERTY physical keyboard to it. IDEOS Chat is loaded with Android 2.1 Eclair OS and also has an expandable memory of 16 GB. At the back, the phone features a 3.2 megapixel camera with LED flash. The phone is rightly named Chat as it has a dedicated smiley button in it, so you no longer need to draw smileys while chatting. Apart from the touchscreen, navigation can also be done with the help of a trackball. Huawei IDEOS Chat comes at a price tag of Rs 8200. So hey, if you want that touchscreen experience along with that keyboard for chatting, that BlackBerry experience, that Google service experience, and of course that smartphone cum touchscreen phone experience, Huawei IDEOS Chat phone is actually a very good campaigner in the market.
Okay, there you go. Siddhartha Sharma brings us that review. Now, Varun, 8,500 bucks, close to 8,500 bucks for this phone.
Yeah.
Worth a buy?
So the specs are not particularly great on the phone, but the form factor is really something that works for the chat heavy kind of users, and especially considering the fact that now Android has got pretty much every single chat application, WhatsApp, you've got Banter, you've got so many of these other applications that are available for Android. So you'll have many chat options available to you, and obviously you have Google Talk. I mean, what more can you ask for? So it's a brilliant phone from that perspective, but I would have just preferred if they would have put Android 2.2 Froyo on it and not still be running Eclair 2.1. It's a 1-year-old OS that is still running on this phone, but hey, for that price, I think it works.
So it is a recommendation from you. So for 8 grand, this is worth a buy, and it's a good way to get into buying Androids.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent phone for that price. The good part is that it's got a fairly decent screen size for that phone. It is still a touch screen. So you'll still manage to do everything that you do on Android with touch.
So basically, what are you using the touchscreen for?
Android is a touch OS.
Yeah.
So in this case, you actually end up using the touchscreen for all the navigation and the keyboard for all
Only
of the typing.
Yeah. Well, both of us think it's a cool phone for 8,000, close to 8,500 bucks. Not a bad buy. But if the OS was upgraded, it would have been even better, and it would have been one of Varun's favorite recommendations to give away. But obviously, Siddharth, one of our younger users on the show, is going to go and give us the news of the week.
Thanks guys. Well, after that whole touch and type phone category, social networks and plenty more gadgets were also making a buzz in the technology space this week. We all thought that Facebook was the epitome of social networking, but Google's come up with a new answer for that. Take a look. Google took another leap into the social space with the Google+. This aims to connect people via specific friendship circles, interests, locations and more. Google+, which is currently operating via a field trial, has 4 main components: Circles, Sparks, Hangouts and Mobile. Google is currently testing the project with a small number of people, but you can sign up to be notified when it opens to a larger group. After a lot of waiting, it looks like the Optimus One will finally get a gingerbread update. The update is bound to bring some improvement, among which there are availability of new apps in the Android market, an improved battery life and an improved system performance. Touted as India's slimmest all-in-one PC, Lenovo India launched the IDEOS Center A320. It's priced at Rs 51,000 and will be available at all Lenovo stores and outlets like Chroma and Reliance. Customers have a choice between the Core i3 and i5 processors. It has an 8GB RAM, 750GB hard drive. It also has other features like USB 3.0, 7-in-1 card reader, Bluetooth, and all packed behind a 21.5-inch LED screen. This lightweight and slim PC is targeted towards those looking for a hassle-free setup. About 2 weeks ago, we heard that the Acer Iconia Tab A500 is going to get its latest honeycomb updates sometime in July. Well, July is here and it looks like Acer has kept their promise of delivering an update. The update should bring a leap in system performance, better support for USB and Bluetooth devices are also expected. The update is available in the West, but we hope it is also available in the Indian community, which might happen by mid-August. Acer Iconia A500 would definitely come in the big league after that OS update rollout, and that was all that was making buzz in the technology space this week. Back to you guys.
Well, there you go. That was Siddhartha Sharma with the news of the week. Well, that's all the time we have on this part of the show. But coming up after the break,
we give you the top games for your iPad 2.